As you can tell from the background today, I'm not shooting from my home. I'm actually on a vacation in the east end of Long Island called Montauk. And we booked this very nice place on Airbnb in front of the Montauk Lake. This is where I'm going to talk about this career path in university administration with you. As students, we interact with university administrators all the time, from admission to register, from grant application to research compliance, from student groups to career services. Have you thought about what it's like to work as a university administrator? In this video, I'd like to share with you my experience in university administration and hope to shed some light in this career path for PhDs. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Zhu. I'm a PhD in neuroscience turned machine learning engineer. In my video, I talk about tech career, machine learning, and my life. My first interaction with administrators in American university happened before my PhD application in 2010. I sent out emails to program managers in different PhD programs and asked for information about funding, international students, and grade requirements. I heard back from most people I contacted, which was quite surprising to me because I thought they would just ignore a cold email from a random undergraduate student in China. Later, I got an on-site interview invite to visit a university in the United States in January 2011. I was very excited because they were also willing to pay for my international flights. I made the best of my time in the United States, bought my own tickets, and planned my own small trips to visit other universities that I have applied to, because why not? I emailed program managers and asked if I could have an interview. So thinking back, that was a really bold move because I didn't know if they wanted to interview me. I basically invited myself to interviews. I got a reply from the program manager in the Department of Biological Sciences at Columbia. Shout out to Sarah. She told me that they would usually start to interview students in March, not January, but she would still forward my request to the program director. Sarah also told me that they have not received my GRE and TOEFL transcripts yet, and she asked me to send her a scanned copy of my transcripts so that they could start to review my application sooner. I haven't heard from Sarah in the next months. Other program managers told me they have not started their interview process yet, but I was welcome to schedule my own meetings with their faculty members. So I started to do my homework on professors in neuroscience, read their papers, and emailed them with research topics I would like to discuss with them in person. Of course, not all of my emails got replied or well received. One professor got annoyed after I sent a reminder email. Nevertheless, I was able to schedule several meetings with professors at UCLA, Harvard, and Columbia. I got to meet with them outside the regular interview cycle and learn about their research. At Columbia, I talked with a professor who studied autoencoding, which was closely related to my undergraduate research. This professor also happened to be the program director of the PhD program that I applied to. Thinking back, meeting with this professor probably fast-tracked my application process because the very next day, Sarah, the program manager who asked me to send her transcripts a month ago, emailed me and said that they would like to interview me despite a very short notice. At that time, I was living in a hostel at 103rd Street, very close to Columbia's campus, so that I could get there quickly just in case. Eventually, Sarah scheduled 3 interviews for me within 2 days. I felt so lucky and fortunate. It was as if the stars aligned that day. As the story continued, I passed the interview, accepted the offer, and spent 6.5 years at Columbia. At Columbia, I interacted regularly with the administrative staff in my home department, and I got a lot of help and support on registration, stipend, student activities, meetings, IT, stockroom, and so on. As you might have noticed, I have done a lot of uncommon activities such as fellowship, internship, taking MBA courses, and none of this would be possible without the administrative support from my home department. As an international student, I also interacted a lot with the International Student Office at Columbia to process my visa paperwork. They were very helpful and knowledgeable to help make sure my visa stayed valid. Furthermore, I took advantage of other student services on campus, such as career counseling, teaching center, primary care, mental health counseling, gyms, and libraries. From my experience, I find most administrative staff very helpful and important to my professional development and well-being during PhD. As the president of student groups at Columbia, I worked closely with administrators from various departments and student offices to organize recruitment events, book classrooms for meetings, fundraise, and manage our social media accounts. I was always curious what it was like to work as a full-time university administrator dealing with the day-to-day operations of universities. In the summer of 2015, I saw a program called the Fellowships in Academic Administration at Columbia, which provided PhD students an opportunity to apprentice in administrative offices. This was a great chance to test my hypothesis to see whether university administration was the right career choice for me. The stipend that came with it also didn't hurt for a broke PhD student. I talked with my PhD advisor and asked for his permission to apply. I explained to him the time commitment was 5 to 10 hours every week, which means I would not be in the lab until 2 p.m. 2 days every week for a whole semester. But I told him I would stay late in the lab to compensate for my absence. The office I was trying to apply to was closely related to my research, the Office of Research Initiatives. They work across different disciplines to foster interdisciplinary research collaboration and provided support for funding applications. By apprenticing in this office, I got to witness in the first row how the internal funding application worked. I was relieved that I didn't hide this from my PhD advisor because the interviewer later contacted my PhD advisor for recommendation on their side. I eventually got the offer and worked with 2 administrators in the office. Both of them got a master's degree from Columbia. We developed a new website for the office, coordinate internal funding competitions, and analyzed historical data to help improve success rate of grant applications at Columbia. Unlike researchers, administrators tend to have a rather routine lifestyle, and most of my coworkers got off work around 5 o'clock. The job responsibility is mostly defined for each semester or each month as the funding cycle goes. My supervisor in the fellowship was impressed by my work and asked if I'd like to continue working in the office for another semester. Looking back, this could have been the starting moment of my career in university administration if I chose to stay. The Office of Research Initiatives, compared with other administrative offices, is certainly much more related to my background and aligned with my research interest. However, at that time, I had not given up on my consulting dream and wanted to spend more time preparing for consulting, in addition to my PhD research. So I turned down his request and instead referred a PhD friend of mine to this fellowship position. And now I'm back home. In preparation for making this video, I talked with a Columbia alumna, Amy Job, who is a year ahead of me in our PhD program and is now working in a scientific communication company. Amy worked as an administrative assistant in our home department for a brief period of time. After Amy got her PhD and did her postdoc, she decided to leave academia and started to look for jobs in non-academia. At first, Amy wasn't lucky in her job hunting. Meanwhile, there was a job opening in our home department as an administrative assistant. Amy got this position. While she was working on administrative tasks during the day, she prepared for her job hunting in scientific communication after work. Although Amy wasn't looking for a career in university administration in the long run, she told me her experience in administration was very rewarding. Amy worked with administrators in our home department side by side, helping with course registration and evaluation, assisting in department meetings and events. She noticed how busy and overwhelmed administrators were, and they very much appreciated any help from students. Amy said she would also love to see more PhD students get into administration and share their unique experience and expertise in the daily operations of universities, especially for recruitment. As for myself, I did consider the possibility of me working as a full-time university administrator and listed some pros and cons. Pros. First, working hours are mostly regular 9 to 5 and most of the time on routine regular tasks. 2, there are great benefits as a university employee, such as tuition exemption and healthcare. 3, working with students can be extremely rewarding. 4, high rank and experienced university administrators with more than 5 years of experience are paid really well. Sometimes their salary is even higher than faculty positions, to more than $200,000 every year. Cons. First, the first few years on the job are exceptionally difficult, as most administrators have to learn and adapt as they go. The pay for entry-level administrators is not glamorous, with an annual average salary about $45,000. In order to advance your career, you have to climb the administration ladder in the bureaucratic system. 2. Some positions can be understaffed and very busy. 3. It can be challenging dealing with students, balancing budgets, and helping struggling teachers. 4. It's not a tenure position. Budget cuts in universities may cause layoffs and slow down job growth. Looking at these pros and cons, I came to realize that I didn't want to just facilitate and support research and work on routine tasks all the time. I was still more interested in doing open-ended research myself. So I crossed out university administration from my list. If you're also interested in university administration, here are a few ways you can get yourself prepared. First, talk with administrators in your home department or other administrative offices in your school to learn about their job. Research on their background on LinkedIn and ask how they got their positions. Most administrators will be happy to share their experience with you. 2. Build experience and skills. Start from your own research group by taking on some daily administrative tasks, such as organizing group activities, maintaining lab orders, or building your lab webpage. Volunteer to help administrators in your department in recruitment and the meetings. Take on administrative tasks in student groups. If possible, do a fellowship or internship in the administrative office on campus. A lot of my PhD friends have never heard of the administrative fellowships that I did. So make sure you do a thorough research on the various fellowships your PhD program offers. You can read more about university administration in the description below. In the next video, I'll talk about another career path that is somewhat in between academic research and university administration: research staff. See you next time.